which was amylase, is in the salivary glands and the pancreas. And the end product of that is maltose. Okay? And then I said that the end product, the most abundant end product of carbs is glucose. That's why diabetics have to limit the amount of carbs that they take in, is because in the end, all carbs will be turned into glucose. All right? So maltase and sucrase are made in the small intestine. When you have an ACE at the end, that's an enzyme, and that means that it's breaking down something. And in this case, you can tell what it's breaking down because this is maltase. So what do you think it's breaking down? Maltose. This is sucrase. So what do you think it's breaking down?
Sucrose.
Sucrose.
These are all sugar.
Protease. What do you think it's breaking down?
Protein.
Proteins.
That's in the
Okay.
lactate.
And lipase breaks down
Sugar milk.
lipids. There you go. Okay.
But all of them change to glucose, right?
Right. In the end. Okay, so maltase and sucrase are made in the small intestines. And I would just say MS equals SM. Maltase and sucrase equals small intestine. Where does protein digestion begin? Stomach.
Carbs in the mouth, right?
Right?
Protein
In the
in the
small
stomach.
intestine.
Carbs begin in the mouth
And protein
and
in the stomach.
Small
and
intestine.
and the small intestines, but it begins in the mouth. It doesn't begin in the small intestines. It takes place also in the small intestines, but the question is, where does it begin? Carbs begin in the mouth.
And what was the protein one?
Proteins begin in the stomach.
But what was the name of the?
Protease.
Protease.
hmm
So protein digestion starts in the stomach and is completed in the small intestines.
Okay, in the stomach, hydrochloric acid converts pepsinogen to pepsin. You need to know that because pepsin is not converted to pepsinogen. Pepsinogen is converted to pepsin.
Mm.
Can you
Okay.
write that down? The bigger word is converted to the smaller.
And that's true. Okay.
So the bigger word is
Pepsin is
Hydrochloric acid breaks pepsinogen into pepsin in the stomach.
like she said, the bigger word breaks into the small word.
and then we have hydrochloric acid and something.
Correct. Because if you had it anywhere else, it would burn holes through everything.
So pepsinogen breaks pepsinogen into pepsin.
No, hydrochloric acid converts pepsinogen into pepsin.
Right.
Right. Hydrochloric acid converts pepsinogen into pepsin.
Oreo?
Why do we need trypsin?
Trypsin.
It's for protein digestion. Trypsin, yes, it is part of pancreatic juice. You need to know that.
What is that?
It's on page 370.
It's on page 370. I say it like I know because
Trypsin,
I
there we
have
go.
no book. I asked Mike if I could look at his book. He don't know where it is. So.
Okay, what is trypsin again?
It's at home.
Trypsin is necessary for it's a.
It said it continues the digestion of protein.
It's
I ain't know.
trypsin is necessary for protein digestion? So you remember, protein digestion starts in the stomach. And here, this is your question right here. Protein starts in the stomach, and then it leaves the stomach, and then the pancreas starts to inject trypsin as it goes from the stomach into the small intestines.
But wouldn't it be
The trypsin, did I say pepsin? I meant trypsin. It injects the trypsin in there so that it can continue to digest as it goes into the small intestines. Okay, so a few things about protein digestion that I think you might need to know is that its end products are amino acids.
Wait a minute. And that's,
It uses trypsin that's made in the pancreas. It uses peptidase made in the small intestines. Okay, so let's think about this because I'm about to throw something else in there. I want to make sure we got this. We said that carbs start to break down where? In the mouth. Proteins start to break down in the and so where does fat start to break down? It's in the small intestine. That's right. All right. And bile, we said, causes the emulsification of fat. Okay, it's made in the liver, and it works in the small intestines.
Stored in the gallbladder.
What? And it's stored in the gallbladder. That's right. It's made in the liver, stored in the gallbladder, works in the small intestines. Okay, also in this little pancreas. So far we said in the pancreas, it had trypsin, right? Now it also has lipase. What did we say lipase is necessary for? Lipids, that's right. It's made in the pancreas.
So the pancreas, the juices are
Trypsin?
trypsin and
and the pancreas is an accessory organ?
It's an accessory organ, yep.
Oh, and what was the question that we had? What was,
lipids, fat.
the liver is the exocrine gland?
Yeah.
The pancreas is an exocrine gland.
What you talking about? Remember we was talking about this earlier, we was talking about the
Lipase.
liver? And we kept trying to figure out, was it something about that that's making me say that?
Fat breakdown.
Widworth, while you're looking at that, let me keep going so that,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
okay. So when we're talking about absorption, tell me what is happening in absorption.
It starts in the small intestine, right?
What?
Starts in the
Everything,
small
the amino acids, the glucose, is movement of digestive nutrients through the gastrointestinal mucus into the internal environment.
Absorbing on the non-fat soluble.
So basically what's happening is all the digested food is moving out
Into the blood.
out of the digestive system into the circulating fluids. And you need to know that. So tell me, give me examples of mechanical digestion. Chewing, what else? We said the stomach, churning, okay.
Churning, chewing,
How about bile acting on the food?
chemical digestion.
That's actually considered mechanical.
Really?
Because it's
That's important. Bile acting on the food is
in the
considered
small,
mechanical.
yes. But amylase is considered chemical because it's actually breaking it down. Okay? Bile isn't breaking it down per se. It's emulsifying it. It's changing the condition of it or the substance of it, but it's not breaking it down.
But it's not chemical, right?
but it's not chemical.
What was the other word?
Emulsify is chemical.
Salad dressing.
No, emulsifying is mechanical.
Right.
And bile
And so so basically what I'm saying is this. Mechanical processes, chewing, grinding, churning. When we change a substance from one form to the other, but we don't change the chemical makeup, that's mechanical. When we start to change the chemical makeup, then it's chemical. Okay? When we do something, when bile is involved, it doesn't change the chemical makeup of fat. All it's doing is it's mixing it up and it's breaking it apart so that when the lipases come in, it has an easier time to break it up. Chemically,
Right.
exactly.
bogus. What is that? The bolus or
A bolus, that's just a big wad of food.
a ball?
A big ball of food. Okay, from the inside out, the layers of the digestive tract.
The mucosa,
Mucosa, submucosa,
the malaris,
muscularis,
and the
canine teeth are
cuspids. And they tear and pierce.
Premolars.
cuspids. Canine teeth are cuspids.
Oh,
Molars are tricuspids.
And premolars are bicuspids.
What is the tube that drains bile from the liver?
Hepatic.
The hepatic.
I couldn't get it.
The hepatic duct. The hepatic duct. It's all good, babe.
Liver is hepatic.
Mhm. The hepatic duct.
That's what drains
Bile from the liver. The tube that drains bile from the gallbladder is the cystic duct. Because cystic means, it literally means, a cyst means like a container. So your bladder is a cyst. Your gallbladder then would be a cyst. That's why it's a cystic duct. Okay? Okay. What's absorbed in the large intestines?
Salt and water.
Salt, water, and vitamin K.
Oh, yeah.
DECA. You remember DECA, water-soluble vitamins?
Salt,
water soluble is A, D, and C, and fat soluble is A, D, E, and K.
Yes, fat-soluble. DECA. No, large intestines, yep. Water, salts, vitamin K. Okay. Where are amino acids absorbed? Blood capillaries of the intestinal walls.
Those are the things that help in the absorption in the small intestine.
Intestinal villi. Yep, that's where amino acids do it. Uh-oh, you woke up.
I've been up.
I know, I'm messing with you.
Come at me in the morning and ask me that.
Okay,
I'm sleeping in.
amino acids are absorbed in the blood capillaries of the intestinal villi. And the intestinal villi are in the intestines, and the villi, the microvilli, and the plicae are what's responsible for increasing the surface area of absorption, right? You remember we said that?
Yeah.
Whereas lacteals are like the straw that need to be filled up.
Lacteals, you said they don't absorb.
Correct. Okay, what's the length of the gastrointestinal tract in an adult? 29 feet.
My age.
How in the world can 29 feet be in somebody that's
4'11".
4'11"?
Lots of hairpin turns.
Yes, that's true. Okay, what is not considered a main part of the tooth? What are the three main parts of the tooth?
Crown, neck, root.
Root. Anything that's on the test that's not crown,
neck,
root isn't a main part, period, right?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, where do pancreatic ducts empty into?
Major, minor.
Oh, the duodenum?
Duodenum. Duodenum.
Repeat that one more time.
The pancreatic ducts empty into the duodenum.
Do we know that's major, minor, or duodenal epithelium?
Not so far.
Okay.
They empty them into the duodenum.
That's where the oh yeah, that should be.
Oh, the only other thing that we need to know about the pancreas is that it produces trypsin, check, and trypsin is responsible for protein digestion, right? It produces lipase, and that's responsible for what? Lipid digestion. And the last one is that it has a neutralizing agent that neutralizes hydrochloric acid.
As a neutralizing agent.
Mhm. Wow. Okay.
Don't do that.
No, because I just need to make sure. You guys understand that alimentary canal and the GI tract are the same thing, but it is not the same thing as the digestive system, right? Because the digestive system is all of this, right? But the alimentary canal is just this. It's not the accessory organs. The digestive system is both of them. Okay? That's what I was saying.
Digestive system is both alimentary canal and
accessory organs, right. But alimentary canal and the GI tract are the same thing.
Okay, alimentary, got it.
Okay. Okay, true or false? Peristalsis pushes food through the digestive tract.
True.
Segmentation does not move food through the digestive tract.
False.
That's true.
No, in here, it says back and forth, but I don't think it moves through.
Segmentation does not move food through the digestive tract.
Oh, no.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
I thought it was kind of the same
That
thing.
was rhythmatic, but then
Oh, so maybe it's back and forth.
Yeah.
segmentation is back and forth.
Okay.
Back and forth.
Segmentation continues the mechanical digestion
There
of
we
food.
go. That's
True.
true.
All right. What bone does not make up the hard palate? The palatine bone does, the maxillary bone does, but the ethmoid bone does not.
That's the cheekbone, right?
Yeah,
Ethmoid bone?
ethmoid bone does not. Palatine and maxillary bone does.
Okay.
PM.
What did you say, segmentation does not move food through the digestive tract, at what age and what?
It's a backward.
Segmentation doesn't move food through the digestive tract, but it continues the mechanical digestion.
The peristalsis is what moves food through the digestive tract. I am not going to see. I thought I was good.
Where does tooth decay happen? What part of the tooth does tooth decay happen in?
In the root?
In the enamel,
Enamel.
the dentin, and the cementum.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, I see.
You see?
yeah.
Said the blind man who picked up his hammer and saw.
Happens in the.
Tooth decay happens in the enamel, dentin, and the cementum. How many permanent teeth?
32.
How many deciduous teeth?
20.
And they don't have premolars.
Tooth decay?
Dental caries.
Dental caries
What
lead
are-
up to cavities.
Right. Dental caries and tooth decay are the same thing. What are your sharp cutting edge teeth?
Canines, cuspids.
Incisors.
Oh yeah,
Incisors.
Incisors.
Cut.
Canines tear.
Tear, pierce.
Pierce.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, this salivary gland produces both mucus and enzyme containing saliva.
The submandibular.
This salivary gland produces both mucus and enzyme containing saliva.
The submandibular.
Submandibular gland.
I thought the sublingual did too.
Nope.
Secretes mucus.
Mucus only.
That's
Wait, what's the
important.
one
And
that-
I thought the parotid
That's
was
important.
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out.
Oh, okay.
That's the one that,
I'll ask Ms. Bat.
Yeah, I just remember this one. I already know
but so far, it only asked about the submandibular.
Okay.
mucus and ciliaris or something.
If you know it's an ask for 15
Okay, the esophagus is about 25 centimeters long. It's a muscular mucus-lined tube, and the mucosal lining lubricates the tube to permit easier passage of food. Would you agree with me?
Yes.
I would say you need to.
What was that?
The esophagus is about 25 centimeters long. It's muscular, mucus-lined, and the mucosal lining lubricates the tube to permit
That's
passage.
too much information for it not to be true.
Exactly, right? But you know what? Sometimes they
It could
do
get you the
is,
last word
yeah,
too.
they get you like 2 of them are true, and you see that and you go, true, true, it's gotta be true. But that last line is not true, and you're like, oh crap, you know? All right. This structure regulates the movement of food from the stomach to the small intestines.
Excuse me?
The pyloric sphincter. The structure that regulates the movement of food from the stomach to the small intestines.
Is that, and that's the carotid sphinx, that's the same thing?
No,
No, the
that's
carotid
the
is the esophagus.
LES. The LES is the same as the carotid sphincter,
Okay.
but that's on the esophagus.
Lower esophagus.
Okay. Where is cholecystokinin from?
What?
Cholecystokinin. Let me know. Let me tell you. The correct name for the gallbladder
Well, I think I know
is
what
Oh, yeah, that's true.
What's that again?
The correct name for the gallbladder
Uh-huh.
is a cholecyst.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so cholecystokinin would come from where? The gallbladder.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
Chole means bile, and cysto means bladder. So cholecystokinin.
In the gallbladder, or it is a gallbladder?
It's the hormone that is created in the gallbladder that pushes the contraction.
The hormone that's in the
Oh, so
gallbladder.
that's the
Cholecyst
CCK.
is the gallbladder.
CCK? Yeah, that's the
Okay,
one.
cholecyst is the gallbladder. Cholecystin
It's-
kyling, or whatever it is,
Oh, yeah,
is
it's
the.
Kinin is the actual thing.
It causes the gallbladder to move bile to the duodenum.
The
Yeah,
CCK
the
causes what?
cholecyst is another name for the gallbladder.
CCK causes contraction of the gallbladder to move bile to the duodenum.
Yes. Yes. The cyst, cholecyst.
Okay, here's something that you might need to pay attention to. What's the main organ of digestion?
The stomach, the liver.
The stomach. The stomach is the main organ, because you're saying it's the largest, okay? But what is the main organ of the digestive system?
The stomach.
The esophagus.
Ooh.
Oh.
See, that's why I wanted to point that out.
Okay.
Okay,
Say it again.
okay. The main organ of digestion is the stomach.
Main organ
Of
of
the digestion is stomach, but the main organ of the digestive system is the esophagus.
Okay, Shane.
Is the duodenum an accessory organ?
No.
No, it's a main organ.
Is the appendix an accessory organ?
Yeah.
We didn't put it on here, but we need to, huh?
And it's got that beaver in front of it.
Variform appendix.
Did you say the pancreas,
Main
right?
organ of the digestive The
Oh,
appendix.
she said the appendix.
We just talked about that earlier, and I was like, it's like beaver, like there's no appendix.
It's a stomach.
It was not.
Main organ.
The main organ of digestive system.
Well, I can't wait for tomorrow though. Oh my God, like, don't even do that.
Okay, all right.
What's our next?
Let me, I wanna get to some, dear Jesus, there are a lot of questions in this bank. Okay, so if I were to try and do some matching with you, okay, Mike, if I, did it, no, I'm just teasing.
Let's do it.
If I were to try and do matching with you, I would want to know the liver, the gallbladder, mucosa layer, mesentery, muscularis layer, serosa layer, ascending colon, salivary glands, esophagus. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just because I want to be able to get through chapter 16. Oh, speaking of which,
You need to go in there?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Liver, gallbladder.
You can't go in that way. You have to.
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
Liver, gallbladder,
No.
mucosa
I'm
layer,
sorry.
mucous
Liver, gallbladder, mucosa layer, mesentery, muscularis layer, serosa layer, ascending colon, salivary glands, esophagus, fundus,